Okay, my name is Chief Reginald Ebere Nwankwo, a native of Lokbuku Umuches in UMUNNEOCHI, LGA of Abia State. I'm an accountant, a lawyer, a good husband of just one wife with 5 children. Okay, thank you very much for that question. I've never been a loud person. I am not one. I've never been one. I don't blow my trumpets. I believe in the Latin maxim that says reps ipsa loquitur, meaning that facts speak for themselves. So I want you to refer to anybody you know in UMUNNEOCHI and ask. I didn't just jump to the states as an heir to the governor. I started as a supervisory council, as a grassrooter. Started as a supervisory councillor, having served as a vice chairman of the People's Democratic Party in my ward. After that, I proceeded to the local government where I was appointed a supervisory councillor for agriculture and natural resources. And then from there, I started making my marks. I did a lot as a supervisory councillor for agriculture, and the most prominent is that I provided over 45 trucks of chippings. That is the stone materials that were used to do all the gradings that were done within the local government while I was in office. Within the 1 year I was there as a supervisory councillor for agriculture and natural resources. I did not just do that alone. I made sure I served as a bridge builder between the local government council and then the quarry companies within my community. I made sure that that is possible, of which I initiated CSR program. That is a situation where the local government council gets something, not just the revenue alone, but gets something as a social responsibility from the quarry sites that operate within the community. So I was able to do all of that while I was still in office. I was at the verge of starting a fish pond that would serve as a revenue generator for the LGA before eventually our term was cut short in just 1 year, after which I was now appointed as an heir to the governor. And we took it from there. I served in the media. I didn't just stop at that. There is hardly any period that I don't return back to my people to take their demands. If I don't present it to the governor because I don't have access directly, I bring it to them, to their knowledge, through maybe my posts. I can go to sites where there are breakage of bridges, there are problems, and then I will make videos, pictures, and bring through that my post, I'll bring to the knowledge of the governor what is happening in the state. For instance, there was a time that the herdsmen came into our farm and butchered someone. I just got the picture, I made a post. Within 24 hours, the government was able to understand what is happening within that area, and then our amiable governor came to our rescue. I would say that I was one of the foremost persons who drew the attention of the government to the insecurity that the cattle market was bringing in our local community. Okay, I appreciate this question, and that's the kind of question I want to answer each and every time. The person that is in that seat now, my former boss, he was the executive chairman when I was the supervisory councillor, has done his bit, but there's always a room for an improvement. And then the truth about it is that the ideas that I have inside of me and the ideas that the next person have will always be different. There will always be something different to do. And there are some laws that become obsolete and archaic in our climb. Just take, for instance, now, maybe if somebody breaks your cash crop, say palm tree, For instance, that is the major cash crop in this Igbo land now. Somebody cuts your palm tree without your knowledge, and you take the person to court, spend millions or thousands of naira to prosecute the case, and at the end of the day, you are to be paid damages, and the judge reads out that what you should be paid is 300 naira. How will you feel? But that is what is in our laws. So how do you reconcile these things? So I want, because I have seen the pains that people feel every day, law should be dynamic. It should be dynamic. It should be evolving with the evolving environment. Just like as we speak today, the Company and Allied Matters Act of 2022, now it makes it easy for one person to own a company. Our WIS laws have to be revisited. Because if a WIS law says the owner of a company must be 2 people, and then you are judging on the premise or on the basis of that to make laws, to prepare will laws. Now that one singular person can now own a company, you have to go back again. Public companies now can now be treated the way sole proprietorship companies can be treated. There are changes. As laws are changing, these things should be revisited. So these are the things, some of us that are core. Forget about a carpenter coming to mold block. It is not in tandem. You need a bricklayer to mold block. You need a carpenter to do carpentry work. And that is why you need a lawyer like Nwankwo Ebere to sit on that seat for UMUNNEOCHI people, to speak better, to speak the right thing that the people want, to look at the things as it affects the people. We have quarry in my place. If anybody goes to that place and it doesn't make a law that will affect people that own that quarry, that will touch their life, that will make sure that they get what is accruable from what they have, the mineral resources they have in their place, then what he has gone to do there is a waste of time. If we have cashew plantations littered all over UMUNNEOCHI, if there is no way somebody can make law to make sure or lobby that cashew production plants are taken care of within that locality, even if it is public-private partnership, if there is no way he can bring these things to fruition, then he has gone to waste time. Because you start from known to the unknown. You start from areas that you have comparative advantage to areas that you don't have comparative advantage. And when I look at these things from the sideline, and these people are not doing these things, I shed tears. I get aggrieved in the spirit, and I want to stand in the gap for my people. Let me shock you. The truth is that my 4 years in the House of Assembly, if actually elected, eventually by the grace of God, it may affect my business, and I may not make as much as I make from my business from whatever is accruable as my salary from the House of Assembly. But I want to be the sacrificial lamb that will show people that these things are possible. They can be done. That is the truth about it. So what I would do differently, I've just started with telling you, revisiting those obsolete laws that no longer stand the test of time, those archaic laws that no longer meet the test of time. If you allow somebody that is going, he may just touch it peripherally and walk away. But these are more important. A lot of laws have been made already, but most of them have become obsolete. Okay. Nobody is talking about them. So that is the area I will major on. Okay, the truth about it is that lawmaking is not strictly for those who read law. There are also a lot of people who did not read law, but perhaps there are people who are fast in their head that when they got into that office, they were quick enough to return to the classroom, possibly, were able to now update themselves in law, or there are people who are okay that they were able to read. But what I'm trying to say in essence is that it is in me already. I have gone through that learning. I don't need to consult an encyclopedia or any book to answer you any question in law. I don't need to start consulting somebody to start preparing a bill for me, and I will know what is contained therein. I will sit in the comfort of my house and I will do the needful and I will present it. And tomorrow it will be easier for me to defend what I have written, unlike somebody who is going to hire a professional to do same for him. The truth about it is that all these things are important. Empowerment, whether keke, whether vehicle, whether it boils down to the thinking of the person who is given. If you get a motopark person to do empowerment, he will tilt towards motor park more. He may touch other areas, but tilt towards vehicle and driving and motor park the more. But if you get somebody who is an academia, he would want to concentrate more on education. He will want to give attention to education. But my idea of empowerment is whatever you can do, help somebody to do, just like the adage goes, give somebody fish, you feed the person for a day. But teach somebody how to fish, you feed the person for a lifetime. Anything empowerment in my own concept, in my own thinking, is whatever you can do for a person that will continue to put food on the person's table from the day you do that for him till the days of his life. You cannot empower a person C, a first school living certificate person with a degree, with a scholarship to go to Oxford to study. You will always give him what he can handle. If you get to, it's different strokes for different folks. If you get to somebody who is an Okada rider, you buy him a new motorcycle, you have empowered him. If you get to somebody who is an undergraduate, he's struggling with fees, you pay off his fees, possibly send him on scholarship, you have empowered him. We have already started doing that. The stories are there. You can ask questions at the background. You ask questions within UMUNNEOCHI and beyond. We are doing that already. We are touching lives. Somebody that lacks food, that needs food at a particular time, you also give the person food. You have also helped to alleviate the person's troubles and problems for that particular time. So for me, it is different strokes for different folks. But empowerment in the general sense should be something, not just the fish to the person that will feed him for one singular day or a meal, but that which will take him, at least continue to feed him for a lifetime. So that's my whole look at empowerment. The truth about it is all power belongs to God, and he gives it to whosoever he wishes. My name is Ebere, which is interpreted as mercy in English language. And my anchor scripture is, and will continue to be, Romans chapter 9, verse 15 to 16, that says, it's not of him that willeth, neither of him that runneth, but of God that showeth mercy. It's not by power, it's not by might, it's not by the strength I have in the inside of me as a person, my physical size, the amount of money I have in my bank account or something, but it's of God. That is the end of that particular quotation. He said it's of God. He will have mercy on him who will have mercy from the beginning. He said he will have compassion on him who will have compassion. It's not of him that willeth, nor of him that runneth, but of God that showeth mercy. That has been my anchor scripture. I have done the needful. I have served in the party. Like I just mentioned, I served as a vice chairman in the party. I've served as a supervisory councillor. There is none of these offices I didn't leave a mark. All those I have followed tenaciously. I don't double jump from one person to another. If I'm convinced that this particular leader will give us what we are looking for, I follow you. And I have been known for that over the years. And because of that, I also feel that people will also follow me same way. I think I can beat my chest and say that all the people that are contending with me, at least I have been on ground for a very long time, almost more than each and every one of them. That's a beautiful one. The truth is that I am a party man. I have been a party man. I've never left PDP for any other party. I am not seeing in the nearest future any reason to leave the party, except there are injustice meted out in such a way that it is too glaring. Perhaps I win an election and somebody comes to deny me openly in broad daylight. Do you understand? But if at the end of the day it's a contest, if at the end of the day I'm able to clinch the party ticket, it's beautiful. We roll out the drums and we continue to general election. If I don't, whoever wins, I will join the person and then we'll move on. Yeah, my final words to the delegates is that they should open their eyes, look at all the variables, look at people who have been on ground, not people who will just come after the elections, they will run back to wherever they are staying and then avoid the delegates and walk away. They should look at those who naturally on their own with their personal funds have started touching lives already, who have that spirit to touch the people. Because you cannot give what you do not have. You cannot, because you have been taken to a public office, you now start philanthropy. You cannot. If it is not in you, if giving is not in you, it is not in you. And then mind you, what we are going to do is lawmaking, not actually to go and bring infrastructure to the people and all what have you. But these things are embedded in our everyday life. And that is why you see some people doing better than others. Some people feel they are just there to make laws. Some people feel that they need to go beyond lawmaking. Apart from constituency projects, they need to go beyond lawmaking. Even if it's the one that should accrue to them, they need to use it and touch life, alleviate some sufferings of the people by way of providing some infrastructural facilities for the enjoyment of the constituents. So we'll give them an effective representation, adequate representation. Whatever it is that the delegates need, we are ready for them. And then we will also represent them, and at the end of the day, come back with footprints that will last in the sands of time. So that is my final word to them. They should clean their eyes, but look at those who will bring back quality representation, bring back quality infrastructure for the people, because gone are the days people say it's just about lawmaking. No. Legislature goes beyond lawmaking now. There are still constituency projects to be done, and there's somebody that will make it happen. Or some persons might take their own and pocket it. Let them look for those who will bring back these constituency projects the way they have been paid for by the government and all of that. So that's my final take for the delegates.